Hi guys, this is Hardik from Debugging.com, and in this video, we'll show you how to flash the latest KLC OS GSI ROM based on Android 15 on any Android phone. So please take a backup of all the data on your phone and then let's get started. First off, get hold of Android SDK platform tools from my guide and extract them onto your PC. You may extract them anywhere you want. In my case, I've done the extraction in C drive, and as you could see, these are the files of platform tools. Once you've done the extraction, you will now have to enable USB debugging and OEM unlocking. Debugging is required for ADB command, whereas OEM unlocking is required to unlock the bootloader on your phone. So let's now enable both this toggle. For that, go to the settings menu on your phone, then go to about phone and tap on build number or OS version 7 times. You will get a prompt that you are now a developer. Now go to system or additional settings and you should now see developer option. Go there and enable the toggle next to OEM unlocking as well as USB debugging. On Xiaomi phones, you will get one more prompt. So check mark, I'm aware of all the risk, and then you have to wait for 10 seconds. After that, tap on OK, and with this, debugging is now enabled. You might also get an RC key prompt. In that case, also tap on OK. And let's now verify the debugging connection. So for that, you have to go to the address bar of platform tools folder, type in CMD and hit enter. This will launch command prompt inside platform tools. Now type in ADB devices and verify that you're getting an ID. If you're not getting any ID, then unplug and replug your phone from the PC. Disable and re-enable USB debugging. Tap on revoke USB debugging and try again. And use the official USB cable that came with your phone. Apart from that, try also using the USB 2.0 port instead of the 3.0 port on your PC. So carry out these USB fixes and verify that you're getting an ID. Once you're getting this ID, let's proceed ahead with the next step. Now you will have to unlock the bootloader on your phone. Do note that unlocking will wipe off all the data, and it might make the warranty null and void as well. If that's well and good, you could refer to a guide and the video and get this job done. On most phones, you just have to boot your phone to fastboot mode and then use the fastboot flashing unlock command. You will then get a prompt on your phone. So use the volume key to highlight, unlock the bootloader and press the power key to confirm. With this, the bootloader will be unlocked and will be taken to the OS. So make sure to re-enable USB debugging once again as well. And in case of Xiaomi phones, you will have to use the Mi Unlock tool to get this job done. Once you have unlocked the bootloader, you will now get hold of the KLC OS ROM file from here. So get hold of the GSI ROM file, and initially it will be in a .tgz format. Let me show you. Initially it's in a .xz format. So for that, for extraction, you will have to use the 7-zip software. So install the software from their official site. Then right click on it and select show more options, 7-zip, and extract to Android 15 KLC OS. You will get a tar folder. Go inside there. Again, you will get one more tar folder. You will have to extract this as well, and then you will get the img file. So copy the img file from here and transfer it inside the platform tools directory. This might take a few seconds for that to happen. So let's just wait. And once the transfer is complete, let's now move ahead with the next step. Now you will have to boot your phone to the fastboot mode. But before that, it's extremely important to get hold of the vbmeta file for your phone as well. It should be of the same version that is currently installed onto your phone. This file is required to disable the Android verified boot. So first off, go to the about phone section and check out the build number for your phone. In case of Xiaomi phones, it's usually something along the following lines. The version is 1090 UMRINXM. So you may download the Xiaomi firmware. Make sure to get hold of the fastboot ROM, and you may then extract the fastboot ROM onto your PC using the 7-zip software. You will get a .tgz format, again extracted using 7-zip. You will get a .tar file, so again extracted, and then you will get a folder something like this. And go inside that, go to the images folder and get hold of the vbmeta file. This is the file as you could see, and again you may verify the build number as well. It's the same build number in the same region as well. So copy the file and transfer it inside the platform tools directory. In case of Pixel phones, the files are inside a zip, so you may simply extract the zip as you extract using any other zip file. So extract the zip file in case of Pixel and then get hold of the vbmeta file. Let me show you. This is the Pixel firmware file. Make sure to download the entire factory image. In case of Pixel, go to the images folder and you may then get hold of the vbmeta file from here. Then in case of OnePlus and a few Realme and Oppo phones, the firmware is in a payload bin file. To extract that, you will have to use the fastboot enhance tool. So transfer the payload bin file inside the fastboot enhance folder. Then launch the tool via the exe file. Go to payload dumper, click on browse. Then select the bin file, click on open. After that, go to the partition tab and select the vbmeta file from here. Just a minute. So select that set file and then check mark allow incremental and click on extract image, choose the location and click OK. The file will then be extracted and you will get the file. So once you have got the vbmeta file as well as the ROM file, make sure that both the files are there inside the platform tools directory. Moreover, for the ease of convenience, let's rename the file to something shorter. So let's rename it to GSI and the complete name becomes gsi.img. Once that is done, let's now move ahead with the next step. Now you will have to boot your phone to the fastboot mode and flash the GSI ROM. So first off, type in adb reboot bootloader and hit enter. And your phone should now reboot into fastboot mode in a few seconds. So let's wait for that to happen. And then we'll move ahead with the next step. Now type in fastboot devices and verify that you are getting an ID. If you're not getting any ID, then you will have to install fastboot drivers on your PC. We have made a separate guide and a video on the same. You can refer to a guide and get the job done using this guide. Once you have installed the drivers, use the Windows plus X shortcut keys, or you may also do a right click on the Windows icon and choose device manager. Then expand the Android phone section and make sure that your phone is being shown here as Android bootloader interface. So this as well as the serial ID next to fastboot signify that the PC is able to read the phone in fastboot mode, and we are now good to go ahead. So now first and foremost, you will have to disable the verification check by flashing the vbmeta file. So simply copy the entire command and paste it in the CMD window and hit enter. And once that is done, you will now have to boot your phone to the FastbootD mode. So use the command fastboot reboot fastboot and hit enter, and your phone will now reboot into FastbootD mode. Do note that the screen might vary depending on the phone that you are using. In my guide, you could see it's a Pixel phone, and in the video which I'm recording, it's from a Xiaomi phone, so the FastbootD screen will vary. Once you are in the FastbootD screen, you will have to remove the product A partition so as to make space for the GSI ROM. So copy the entire command and paste it here. The product A partition is now removed, and we may now flash the GSI ROM. For flashing the GSI ROM, you will have to use the command fastboot flash partition name, which is the system partition, and file name, which is gsi.img, and hit enter, and the flashing will now start. The GSI ROM has been broken down into smaller system partition files. In this case, there are smaller 15 files, and each of these files will be flashed individually, which could take up to around 4 to 5 minutes. So let's just wait for that to happen. So guys, the flashing is now complete. Now your last course of action is to do a format data. This will wipe off all the data from your phone. So type in fastboot space -w, and the formatting is now complete, and we may now reboot our phone to the OS. For that, type in fastboot reboot, and your phone should now reboot to the newly flashed OS. Do note that the first boot up will take up some additional time. That is completely normal and nothing to worry about. From the subsequent time, that will not be the case. Moreover, let's wait for the boot animation or at least a boot logo to appear, either of which will signify that the flashing has been done successfully. And let's give it a few more seconds. In 6 to 8 seconds, I guess, at least the boot logo should appear. And then this is the boot logo. For the first time, you might witness the white screen for a few more seconds. All this is completely normal, but this will only happen for the first boot up. From the subsequent boot up, this will not be the case. So give it a few more seconds. So as you could see, this is the boot logo, and with this we are inside the ROM. So let's get started with the setup process. The white screen was there for a few seconds, so you will have to leave it on your phone for around 10 to 15 seconds, and then you will get the boot logo. And after that, you may set up the ROM. If you want, you may connect your phone to the Wi-Fi, then connect your phone to the Google account and restore your data as well. As of now, I'm skipping that, and we are inside the KLC OS. It's the newest GSI ROM. I haven't yet tried it out. It's older build of Android 14 or 13 build. This is the latest one. And let's have a look at the QS setting tiles. Let's access the settings menu, and as you could see, this is the latest Android 15 style UI. Apart from that, there are a few specific Android 15 features as well, and you are seeing there are a few display issue as well. So first and foremost, let's rectify the display issue. For that, go to the PHS treble settings, miscellaneous features, force FPS, and select 1080 into 2400 at the rate of 90 FPS. So choose this option, wait for a few seconds, and the display issue will be rectified. Once that is done, we may now check out all the features. So first off, this is the Android 15 settings UI which I have shown you. Then apart from that, there are a few additional UI tweaks as well in Android 15. These are only there in custom ROM, and you will only find some of these features in a GSI ROM, but still let's try to see if they are there or not. So power menu in QoS settings is there. Next up we have the partial screen recording. Let me have a look at that as well. So that feature is also there. You may choose a single app and only do a recording inside that app. You may choose the required app from here and the recording will only be done inside the chosen app. If you move over to any other app or if you get a notification from any other app, the recording will be paused. And apart from that, we have the back gesture. So as you could see, this is the new predictive back gesture. You will see whatever is behind the screen. As you could see over here, the previous menu will be shown. Then the battery information also. So battery information is not there. That's not a cause of concern. The battery management. So the battery info page is missing. Then we have the private space, and let's have a look whether it's there or not. It's in the privacy section. Private space is there, but you will have to first set a screen lock. So choose a screen lock for your phone. Let me choose this one. And now it will ask you if you want to set the same screen lock or have a different screen lock for the private space. So it's recommended that you use a new screen lock. So tap on choose new lock. And first off, let's confirm the existing screen lock. And now I'll choose a new lock for the private space. Let's keep it this one and let's confirm it as well. Let me do it later. The fingerprint, you may also use the fingerprint. I'm skipping that for now. And the private space should now be made in a few seconds, and that's it is done. And as you could see, we now have the private space. If you go to the app drawer, just tap on the settings icon, then draw your private space fingerprint or the pattern, and you will get all the apps which are here. Then you may also add the required app from here as well, from this section. Likewise, you may then lock it, and moreover, you may even hide this private space as well. So this option is only there on some custom ROMs. So it's there here as well. So tap on the settings icon next to private space, then go to hide private space and enable the toggle next to hide private space. Got it. And the private space should now be hidden in a few seconds. So tap on lock, and as you could see, it's now hidden. The only way to access it is either via the search bar, or if you cannot find it from here as well, then you will have to go to the settings menu every time and then access it from here. The privacy section, you may access it from here. Use your screen lock, and this is the private space is currently on. You may turn it off if required, but I am keeping it on so that it is not visible here as well. Let's lock it, and it's gone from here. Then apart from that, the taskbar is only there on some custom ROMs. It's usually in the home settings, and use themed icons in app drawer. This is also quite a nifty feature, but as of now it's currently not implemented. You will have to do a system UI restart. First, let me find the taskbar option. So that the taskbar is not there in this GSI ROM, which was quite along the expected line because it's only there on some custom ROMs as well. Then apart from that, you have the wallpaper and style tweaks. So you may choose the wallpaper from here, and whatever wallpaper you apply, the theming engine will be changed accordingly. Thanks to the Material UI theming engine, and there are various colors to choose from, and the theme and the UI and UX of the ROM will also change, as you could see over here. Then apart from that, you may change the icon styles as well. Let me enable a few options: DND, aeroplane mode, and flashlight. And you may keep a track at the top right of the icons being changed. Let's hit the apply button. It will take a few seconds and then will be applied. Let's go with the circular or Kai and hit the apply. So again, once that is done, you will have to do a system UI restart, and only then these changes will take place. Apart from that, these are the font style. There are various font styles that you could choose from. For example, this is the OnePlus Slate. Simply choose the font style and hit the apply button, and the font will be applied. Then you could go to the also change the lock screen clock style from here. So let's choose a lock screen clock. Most of them are not even shown here. It's overlapping with the wallpaper. So let's keep it a simple one only. Let's go with this one. In the home screen as well, you may enable the themed icon, and as you could see, it's now implemented. Likewise, you may change the app grid size till 6x6. It's the total number of apps that could be shown in each row. Then apart from that, these are the same icon style and font style, and you may also change the icon shape. For example, this is the pebble style. Simply choose the required one and hit the apply button, and the changes will take place. After applying all these UI tweaks, you will have to do a system UI restart. It's a must, and as you could see, the home settings, in the home section there's option to use theme icon in the app drawer, and that has now taken place as well, because by default if you enable this themed icons over here, it will only work for the home screen and not the app drawer. So after enabling the option from the home settings, you may also enable the theme icon in the app drawer as well, which is quite a great feature. And apart from that, we have the few PHH treble settings as well. So if you go here, then first off the Qualcomm features with regards to the audio policy, then next up we have the OEM specific features, then a few miscellaneous tweaks for the audio, display, FPS and backlight, camera. So if you're having issue with Gcam, you may enable the force enable camera to API, Bluetooth and calling tweaks are also there, but all of these are advanced feature and should not be used until and unless you know what you are doing. Then the IMS with regard to the 4G and LTE calling features, a few customization tweaks, and we have already had a look on all of these icon packs as well as the icon shape as well. Next up, you have a few audio effects from various OEMs, including the Dolby, MI Sound, Qualcomm, the AOSP and the NXP. There is no single best source. You will have to do a hit and trial and then see which one works for you. In my case, I usually go with the Dolby because it's one of the most trusted name in this domain. And then you may also update the GSI ROM either from this update section, or you may manually flash it using the Fastboot flash system command. But while doing an update, there is no need to do a factory reset. You may simply do an update via the this command in the FastbootD mode. And guys, that's just about it. It's the latest Android 15 as you could see. So guys, if you have any queries with regard to any of the steps, do let me know in the comment section, and thanks a lot for watching.